Welcome to the 23rd edition of the I5 series. May I request everyone to please rise for the national anthem?
जन गण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल गंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
I now invite our chairperson, architect Praveen Kumar, to join us on stage.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. A warm welcome to the 23rd edition of I5 series. We are meeting after a short break. And in this time, we have had a series of exciting engagements. The investiture ceremony, our visit to Viparthi House as a part of Designer Lens, and the celebration of Diwali, and most recently, the grand launch of Insider X 2026. We are delighted to share that we received an exceptional response from our trade partners, and nearly 60% of the showcase slots already booked. Members who are yet to register and wish to participate and encouraged to connect with us to the earliest. We also request all members to help spread the word among the trade partners known to them and inspire wider participation. Today, we are back with one of IIID HRC most cherished and awaited initiative, the I5 series. This was introduced in 2016. We are honored to host an inspiring panel of speakers this evening. Experienced, celebrated, and each with a remarkable professional journey. I am confident that insights and stories of finding their spark will make today's conversation meaningful, engaging, and thought-provoking. And I just want to have one small announcement, the upcoming events. See, the next month we have some upcoming events. The first is, next slide. I'm sorry, 1 minute, I think. Yeah. So the IIID, we are collaborated with the Craft Council of Telangana. So we have Arts and Craft exhibition, so which is going to happen on Crafts Council building. It's on 12, 13, and 14. So we have 12th, there's an exhibition. And 13th, we have a founders dialogue. And 14, we have a workshop in Tikri Art. So we sent all this information in our groups by mail. So the registration is compulsory. We send all the links to you. If anybody is not getting any mails or WhatsApp, kindly be in touch with Srinath. He will help you out today. And the next, we are trying to do one more collaboration event where we are collaborating with different bodies, FSCI, where is our past chair, Mr. Manoj Wahi, leading this FSCI. This is seminar on tall buildings. So this is we are collaborating with them where we have a 2 days event at Avasa. This is on 12th and 13th December. We will share you the details soon. So this is all meant for your architects, interior designers, and all MEP consultants. So we are trying to come with some technical sessions in this. This is a 2-day, full-day event. So if there's anybody interested, you can register on that. Next, we are trying to doing one AI workshop. This is artificial intelligence for architects and interior designers. It's only open for our members. This we are trying to come up in January. We will share you the dates and details soon for the registration. So we are going to try to do some half-day workshops. So it will start from afternoon to evening, where the speaker is going to come and teach you all the latest trends and all that. Next, we are going to launch Design Excellence Awards. This is next slide. So the open entries, it is on 17th January 2026. Again, we will share you all the details. I request all members, try to, what all the projects you are completion stage, try to get your photo shoot, your documents, everything, you can keep it ready. So we will share you all the deadlines and all that for that. So 17th January is going to open for the entries. So whoever, last time we want to be a maximum participation. So whoever is finalized in this, last time they are eligible for the nationals with the wildcard entry. So you no need to go again national. If you want to have a national entry, you no need to go for the complete process. So whoever is the winner, you can directly go into the wildcard entry for the finals there. So we want you to be participate in this. So same thing you can apply in the nationals also. Our Insider Showcase X, which we launched it. So this is going to happen on High Tech City at 19, 20, 21st June 2026. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Our MC member, architect Amit Shah, will be introducing the first speaker of the series, architect Kirti Jalan.
Good evening, everyone. It gives me great pride and privilege to introduce someone who was once part of our team at FCOT and who has since carved an inspirational path of her own, architect Kirti Jalan. Kirti is an architect and furniture designer holding a bachelor's in architecture and master's in furniture design. Even during her time with us, her curiosity, sincerity, and exceptional sense of materiality were unmistakably, and it has been wonderful to see those qualities evolve in her unique design voice. In 2021, she founded Kirti Jalan Design Studio, which has become her creative identity for products, furniture collections, and installations. She is also the co-founder of QX Design, alongside her partner, architect Udit Mittal, focusing on architecture and spatial design. While the two studios operate at different scales, they are united by shared design philosophy rooted in context, collaboration, and community participation. Kirti's work stands out for its deep engagement with India's craft traditions. At a time when traditional craftsmanship is at risk of fading, She has chosen to place artisans and local craft clusters at the center of her practice. Through contemporary products made with traditional techniques, systems, that empower craft communities, and a true human-centric design approach, she is contributing meaningfully to both sustainability and cultural continuity. Her studio today works across India and soon abroad, collaborating with designers, architects, and skilled craftspeople to create products like lampshades, mannequins, furnitures, and other creative installations for diverse spaces. Every piece carries a signature blend of sensitivity, innovation, and respect for people and place. It has been a joy to witness her journey, and I cannot express enough how proud I am to introduce her today. And now I invite Kirti to take us through her journey as she presents her work.
Hello. Thank you so much, Amit sir. It was wonderful. In fact, I think he has put up words better than I could in my presentation. So thank you. So hi, this is Kirti Jalan. I am founder of Kirti Jalan Design Studio and co-founder of QX Design. A bit about my background. I have been brought up in Hyderabad, where I did my schooling from Shiva Shivani Public School in Matril, my junior college from Villamari Junior College, and then I got into design by CSIIT. So this was the place where my foundation of design and architecture was laid. It's wonderful to be invited by Shushmita ma'am. She has been my teacher. And other people whom I was expecting, Arpana ma'am and Shahnawaz ma'am. It was the foundation where it was not just design, but evolving around many other things, many aspects in our life. Along with architecture, what really helped me out was my friends which I made there, and that's why I relate architecture and friendship with CSIIT. Next, I was working with Amit and Ashmi, sir and ma'am, and I think they have been one of the most wonderful people that I was just stuck with them for 3 years and didn't bother to get employed anywhere else. I think I was the second employee of theirs. They have been very wonderful. And it was never like I'm reporting to a boss. It is more like they're friends and family as we grown up. And IIID, again, it's not new to me. I have been part of I5 series long back when sir and ma'am used to give their presentation, and I was in the audience, thinking one day when I could speak. And it's just that what you think do come true at one point in your life. So I'm glad that it happened. And like you see, the IIID Insider Showcase, and I think sir have to give me a major marks that credit or entire credit that yeah, I was a very good part of it and I enjoyed it the most. Moving forward, I did my master's in furniture design from CEPT University, and I think my sole inclination, which I found out, was through this university. Because in fact of doing architecture, in fact of working in professional field, there was some void which was always there, where usually that happens with most of the students, that you do architecture, you do work, but you're still not sure that what fits you where and where do you want to work ahead. So I think Masters in Furniture Design gave me that vision and path which I wanted to take ahead in life. And what made me work very well was learning by doing, because that is what helped me. Thank you so much. I think my voice is shivering, right? Yeah. So that played a major role in my life. So something which I really enjoyed was working with hands. And during this period, I was working with a community in Dang in Gujarat, where it was a wholesome learning of not just working with hands and materials, but also about community building. So slowly with time and process, my inclination and my interest moved towards a vision where I knew I wanted to do design, I knew I wanted to do architecture, but in a way which could help community, a craft cluster, and ahead. So that is where my thinking and ethos started building up. Like you can see in the picture, that's me painting spray painting the bamboo chair, and that's the entire team where we were working with. So these were few takeaways in my life which made me move ahead. One was learning by doing, craft-based, like a kind of soul inclination. And also what made me happy, irrespective of what others were doing in life, what actually made me happy, what made me content. And and for me, design rather became a tool to organize and enrich a society than just talking about the buildings or a product. One person I would like to really give my credits for shaping my journey was my mentor Man Singh, who has been an IIID alumnus. And 3 words what he just engraved in us were preparation, patience, and perseverance. That not being prepared of what you wanted to do, be at it again and again, and not losing hope. So all these 3 things, because I think I was there in SEP from 18 to 20, and when I came back, it was COVID struck. I didn't want to come back because I love the city, I love the place, Ahmedabad. But I had to come back, and after coming back, obviously there was no jobs. There was nothing here. You really had to wait to get jobs. You really had to make your path of how you want to move ahead. So those time, these 3 words really helped me out, where I think I started my journey by having my own studio, which I started in 2021 in Banjara Hills with Kirti Jalan Design Studio. Like the image which you see is the first order which I got through that studio. And that's a mannequin in Rattan, which I just moved around the entire city because I had no idea over here where there are bamboo workers or where there are rattan workers or where there are craft clusters situated. And so yeah, it was a tough time where places like Old City and all, I used to go every day, 15 days, just sit there with the craftsmen to get one product right. So the journey was very difficult, but yeah, I wanted to do it and move ahead with that. 2021, I played a gamble in my life, the biggest gamble. I planned to get married, and I think he has won a jackpot. And that is how that is how Kirti Jalan Design Studio got married to QX Design as well. And frankly, I was more inclined to the kind of work he was doing than getting impressed by him as a person. It was, sorry? Yes, exactly, a professional partner. Because, being 29 at that point and from a Marwadi family where there's so much of pressure to get married, and being an ambitious woman as I was always, it was a better deal that let's play this gamble and then see what happens next. So yeah, and thankfully it did work out well. Yeah. So yeah, so he was working on similar ethos like I was working. He was working with bamboo architecture. He was more towards community building. So that impressed me a lot, and that's how we moved forward. So because he's based out of Calcutta, I moved to Calcutta with him. And these are the different craft clusters we are engaged right now in West Bengal, be it in Amtalla, Rajarhat or Siliguri. So there we develop or train people to make, because they're already good at certain artisanal work, they're very good at it. But how to contemporize it, they're not good at it. How do they sell their products, they're not good at it. So yeah, these are 3 sectors which we are working with in Calcutta. That's a workshop in Calcutta where you can see people working out, working with rattan. So again, the journey, like how we work, it's a complete hands-on experience or learning by doing, as my philosophy has been. So be it architectural models, which is always made in the studio, where our colleagues make 1:5 or 1:25 scale models, be it for products, installations, or architecture. What you also see on the extreme right, is the pointer. Yeah, that's my baby, who is now 2 years old. And he's there always, everywhere. Be it our studio, be it our workshop, be it our site visits. Today he's at home with mom, but yeah, he's like omnipresent. And I think it's very important to speak about different transition which a woman goes through. Be it getting married, moving to other city, or being a mother, which is a major thing which changes your life. where there's no difference between a professional and a personal practice. So that's the place where, you need to balance and work and still move ahead. So yeah, he's been very accommodating as such. So that's a studio. And that's something where we are exhibiting for Raw Collaborative. And he's there with me. So that's how it is. This is something what we do. This is the same installation which you saw before, where I was with my baby. In Raw Collaborative, what we have showcased, it's a ceiling installation which falls down to form a table and a chair, something like that. So these are the kind of work which we do. Again, it's fine. Yeah. Again, because it's not about just about a certain product. It's about the entire picture of what we see and how we go ahead. These are the other installations which we have done in Rattan again. It's all handcrafted in Calcutta and then shipped to different parts of the country. We work pan-India. That's another seater which we have made. So everything is in-house designed and manufactured. That's another seater what we have done. So trying to, because what you see the strokes here is something which the artisans already know how to do it. But how do we contemporize it is a question for them. There's another architectural work which we have done. It's again on community building as such, where there's a cyclone resilient guest house in Sundarbans, where you can see we have used shallow dome techniques as slab and thatch roofing and the bamboo structure. Entire substructure is made out of bamboo with wattle and daub technique. So all these are techniques and methods which the villagers themselves are using and then using it in their own construction of their houses or their community development. And for all these projects, we don't take the entire team of ours to that particular site. It's rather only one or two artisans from our team goes and stays there, and it's training for the all other unskilled people there who also learn and implement it in their particular field. That's how the interiors of the space look like. It's a guest house. That's another bamboo pavilion which we have done for one of the HNI in Calcutta. It's basically just facing the Ganges, and it's a place in their farmhouse where they like to party at the evening or have their coffee. So it's again a place where we are taking bamboo not just as a pandal or a temporary structure, but also as a mainstream architectural work, where all these structures we can count to take a wind speed of 180 kilometers per hour at least, and higher. And Calcutta and Sundarbans areas as such being cyclone-prone areas, they have been standing for quite a few years now. That's how the interiors look, the arches look. And yeah, that's me and my husband, where it all starts with a small dream, and but if you dare to do it, then you are on it, and I think that is what we have done and we've been trying to do. So that is all about us. Thank you.
Thank you, Kirti, for sharing such an authentic and a very refreshing journey. I think all of us said, we'll do sustainability in college, but then we all changed routes. So it's so nice to have a very refreshing story. Our very next speaker is the very creative Shashank Rao, who also showcased his creative spark at Insider X with us last year. He will be introduced by Vandana ma'am.
Good evening, all. Architect Shashank Rao is an architect who sees architecture as a medium to experiment, question, and create meaningful impact. As the co-founder of Urban Narratives, which he leads with Anmisha, he brings together design leadership and creative entrepreneurship to shape a practice that is both thoughtful and forward-looking. He constantly seeks opportunities, even the smallest ones, where design can shift experiences, improve environments, and contribute to better living. His work is driven by curiosity, intention, and a belief that meaningful change often begins with small, considered interventions. IID HRC is honored to have you with all of us. We are looking forward to hearing you. Thank you.
So, if I have to be honest, few of those words are mine, and rest of them are from ChatGPT. But I mean, that's the good thing about us and me, especially. I mean, I'm a very, very simple fellow. I'm being very honest with you because only then I can open up and speak. So, as in the brief that was sent, first thing was really interesting. Like, it's not about your work, it's about you. Like, wow, that nice. So appreciate that thought. Because I think architecture, for that matter, any profession is not about the practice, it's about you and what belief system you hold, what thought process you hold, and all of that. So I think for us, for me personally, it's been more about the belief system. So I'm a very optimistic fellow. And luckily I found Anmisha in my college and she's also taken the same journey. So both of us are very forward-looking and optimistic, positive thought processes, which is what has driven us so far. First of all, when I got invited, I was like, what? Okay, fine. So, the thing is, even today or I think forever, I think we don't like to take ourselves so seriously. It's fine, dude. I mean, kya badi baat hai, I'm just doing my job. So I come from that kind of a thought process, which has given us a great edge, given me a great edge. So it all starts from college, So what I was saying is how your attitudes tune your everything. So in my college, I was a first year kid, and there was an exhibition. By the way, I'm from SVCS, Sri Venkateshwara College of Architecture. And I was as a first year old, I entered my exhibition hall, and we were supposed to set it up for an expo. And this has been the first third month of my college. And there were a few lights that were hanging. I went to my sir, I said, sir, this is not looking nice. It was not my job. But sir, I was called to do some arrangement. I said, sir, this is not looking nice. What do you want to do? I want to fix it. Then I had done something. And somehow, professor, his name is Praveen, I'm sure most of you know. And then he thought, okay, this kid is enthusiastic. And then he pushed me into a little bit of leadership. And then eventually I became the unit designates for an organization called NASA. And then politics, then all that. And eventually, throughout the period, this is what, all the values that you hold is what matters. Rest come and go and you evolve. And so college was for few incidents and few of the things strengthened that thought process. Then I went on to become the zonal president. Then I was the 59th national president of the organization NASA India. So it was like a very big thing. And even then I genuinely didn't take myself super seriously. Because it's again an opportunity where you like to do something better and people appreciate it. And it works out, it comes back. So NASA president, then what you get out of it is exposure to the world class, best in the country, quality work. And then I was dumped there. Then when you look at it and you can't look back and you meet people, that's how another major movement happened, Collective Project. It's a studio based in Bangalore. I was there for a year. And along with managing NASA, I was working with them. And I came back and I looked at the quality. I was like, I can't. I genuinely at that point didn't find the level of studio that does that kind of detailing in terms of their projects and all of that. Like, I am not working, boss. I'm not practicing. I'm not working anywhere. Then I went back. I said, for me to do that kind of a quality of a work, I have to get that kind of an opportunity. Then I moved on. I started a startup. It was called The Label. So I used to run a startup which customizes pin to elephant of everything. Let's say you run a restaurant, you come to us, and then we send you back with all products customized. You just send me your logo, everything is sent back. So, because leadership through NASA lets you think bigger, you can't think small, and that was a big problem I had always. So, and then in the process, we got few projects, and there was one point where I didn't really enjoy that, then I had to sell it off for a hefty price. But, I was a successful ex-founder of a startup. It's called The Label. They're still running it. Someone who bought it from me is still running it. But yeah, just the intention was that I do not want to compromise. I do not want to do anything that comes my way. I want to just do good work. It's been seeded so firmly into my belief system only because of Collective, because you see that quality, and I had to take a big round, and 1 year, one gamble, and then we entered the practice. Anmisha was still in college. I passed out. I went back and I came back. So she's 3 years junior to me, and mine is a love at first sight kind of a situation. And we married in 2 years ago, November 23. Yeah. So, yes. Yeah, Anmisha she's an equal part of my journey, because similar orientation. I was heading my college, and I see her, like, there's something in this girl, and I got married to her. I have to be honest, guys. That's how it has happened. And how, your alignment plays a really big role, because, so we were a part of the same journey. What really shaped me was the kind of studio that I worked with. It's called Collective Project. And luckily, out of nowhere, no recommendation, she got placed in the same studio. Right? So again, getting back to the base root level, your values, being positive and optimistic. And good things happen to you if you hold to these values, and we've been holding to that. And out of nowhere, she gets a reply from Collective. Mostly every single person in Hyderabad sent applications to them, because I used to at one point sit and see their applications while I was interning with them. So there's a good volume of applications. I don't know from where they're like, maybe it's the same kind of drawings that I thought her was attracted to. I don't know what. But so it's really important to see your partner is in line, because otherwise it's going to be a lot of a challenge, right? So we were in line there. So yeah, the youth, while I was in college, NASA, Collective, a lot of journey. Yeah, I'm sure you're looking for pictures. I have no pictures of all of that. Just look at me. And that's fine. And then mid-age, so a lot of exploration and projects came our way, and we've done few. And again, how all of these, ultimately, what I wanted to, what point I wanted to make here is, like I said in the first place, what values you stand for and how they come back. So then projects came to us, and eventually they were published, and they were on Buildify, they were on other platforms and all of that. And you get a lot of traction, and eventually we kept getting good inquiries, we kept doing good work. We kept doing work. It's good, but and still, honestly, we still don't know if we really do good work or not, because I always feel that we don't do good work, because, that's the reality, right? You keep evolving and you don't think you do good work. So now, I shouldn't have looked at my book. I lost it. But anyways, I'll take you through what we've been doing now. So we've been dragged into all typology of work. We've been into F&B, we've been into large scale, we've been into residences, we've been into commercial, we've never been into interiors, but most of the work are, we run a multidisciplinary, because honestly the point is we still don't know where we want to go, and it's always been a question and which we still don't have an answer, but one answer we have now, after going through a lot of almost 8 years of journey, is we will work not for the client but for ourselves. This is something that we really built upon, and it's been a while that we just said we are not working for client, we're working for ourselves. We like it, we do it. We don't like it, we say bye. So at least God's grace, with all our belief system, all our previous experiences, all the things that we've done, all the people we met, it at least made us understand and believe that this is where we are standing at this point. A few of the works are, and before that, we call ourselves urban narratives, and because we really believe in storytelling, because that is what we think. Your narrative is what lives, what you bring in as a material, who makes it all is vanishes, but what is the narrative, how did it evolve, is something that I think is always alive. And me and Anmisha were very, very deeply connected to the narrative approach of design, because we do it naturally. Again, how is because this is what was learnt in college. And I mean, a lot of people I see that after college everything changes. Honestly, for us nothing has changed. I know it's a very, very big statement. Our process has never changed. What my ma'am, I really, few of my mentors, Praveen sir, Kripa ma'am, so there are a few people who has given us few formulas, and I think we still apply all of them. It always starts with a narrative, and then how you make sure your narrative is presented is what we do today. So this is one of the things that we've recently attempted. It's called Gateway of Hyderabad. It's a MUSI initiative. It was a competition launched by Government of Telangana under the MUSI initiative, and it was a crazy brief. I mean, now these days I'm calling myself a crack fellow, because my clients or my experiences made me make us call it, make us believe in it. So eventually we've become super crack fellow and a team of crack people, and we like what we do. We do what we like. So competition said you have to do an arch for the city, and it should adhere to history. It should be futuristic. It should, all the diverse terminologies in English dictionary, like one in this corner, other in that corner, plus ChatGPT, beautiful ChatGPT has come down. Let's look at the brief, and we looked at the brief, and I said, okay, the team exercise, come back, and my team came back, and I said, please don't present. I said, we are not doing anything that you guys have made, and I don't even want to see. So why? Because I genuinely didn't want to adhere to the brief. I just wanted to adhere to what we think could be right. So they said history. I said, fine, history. What better history than reimagining the river the way it was, right? So we made the river, and we built a narrative. So how culturally, how wild animals, how cattle, how people, how everybody was just living around the river with a thought process. This is one of the expression of how we think. And we captured one moment, the herd of, a cluster of cows or buffaloes crossing, and how we try to show how, we try to imagine how the built form has come in, and we just wanted to capture that moment of how, the cattle were using the leaf, the river, and okay. So we said, that's how, my time's over. Done. So our curve of movement, we've shown it with the curve, and the expression, we showed it with that taper, and that's what we submitted to them. And we thought it was adhering to the history. We thought it's futuristic. We thought, and the whole point was we really enjoyed it, and we did it. So we never bothered to look back at the brief and see if we really you like it, take it or leave it, kind of an attitude. And one of the other projects where there was a tree on my site, and how the whole axis was shifted to make sure I get the tree into my frame, and that's the plan. And this is in Sainik Puri. It's called Coin Co. And one of the projects we've done. Again, it's all about the attitude here. I'm not trying to show the projects, to be very honest. I'm just trying to show you our attitude, which is working, which I very proudly say I've learned in college, which I really proudly say that I learned it from my boss, and I don't compromise. If you want to compromise, then I'm leaving. Is the attitude. So another project where we changed the axis of different floors, and we're building a huge brewery, and so this is one interesting projects where we had a volume and we shifted and said, let's see what happens, and this is what has happened. It's a saloon, it's called Mist. It's also in Kompally. And here there's another project where there was an old house. We were supposed to do a coffee shop insert and a saloon insert into the old house, and we actually inserted it. And that's what we have. It's a house existing, just the facade is changed, but totally contrasting different characters. And one of the things is that, what if the whole, so here the client has a very interesting brief. They're like, bhaiya, budget le do. And I can't be like, see, again, honestly, we can't be like, bhaiya, like, okay, what can we do now? So I said, budget lekapadam cannot be the reason to do an under-detailed or not so exciting project, right? Like, what's the best way to bring a character? Because urban narratives is never doing anything without a
একদিকে
character.
তৃণমূল কংগ্রেস তৈরি, অন্যদিকে
Nothing
বিজেপি
real,
তৈরি,
real,
সিপিএম তাদের ঘুঁটি সাজাচ্ছে। এবার সিপিএম এর কি
Character
কৌশল
level
তারা
में भैया मैया।
আমি
वर्ल्ड में टॉप पे पहुंचा है।
बुलडोजर
I
चलवाऊंगा
said, okay,
घर
what
पर।
if I paint? If you tell me, okay, to this I'm in. What if I paint the entire property one color? Are you okay? Like, what are you saying? It's like, bhaiya, see, I can avoid the details. I can reduce the amount of intervention that's supposed to be made. Everything I can do. But character, I wanted to bring it monotone. So, and practice, how we make sure that we do these bold things is, as a part of our exercise, we keep training people. Okay.
द ग्रेट खली की फिल्म है वो, राजपाल यादव है और
ग्रेट खली है,
ग्रेट खली
से
The first presentation while we were doing plan was this.
भाई लोगों को खबरें मिल रही हैं।
This is what we're imagining. I mean, what are you imagining?
टीम इंडिया
like high character.
महेंद्र सिंह धोनी के फार्म हाउस पे गई है, क्या ये बात सच है?
So
नहीं मेरे
we do a lot of artworks, in every project. A lot of effort gets in.
मैं आप सबका ध्यान रखता हूँ जी।
And I open. We will this.
सर आपके साथ बात करके मैं पूरा
पेट भर गया।
So
मेहनत करके निकले हुए लोग अपने अपनी एक पहचान बनाए।
only relying on the principles, being optimistic and positive. And what what
सबके सिग्नेचर है।
I do for the work. Now, who is stopping them from
तो सिग्नेचर करना।
good work and belief system? Is what is our journey is about. And of course, Anmisha, my wife. Thanks, man.
झूम के
designer has a signature, not a line or a mark, but a way of seeing the world, a quiet instinct that guides the hand long before the first sketch takes form. In that intimate space between vision and creation, there is a search for the texture that feels right, for the drape that breathes the story, for details that speak without ever raising their voice. And in that search, there is a companion, unseen yet present, silent yet essential. Darpan Furnishings, the partner that understands the language of your craft, the weight of precision, the nuance of choices, the pursuit of something unmistakably yours. In every weave, every stitch, every fold, we listen to your rhythm. We adapt to your instinct. We honor your signature. Because the spaces you shape aren't just designed, they're imprinted with who you are. And we're here, quietly, to help turn that imprint into a signature masterpiece. Craft your signature with Darpan Furnishings. Every designer has a signature.
May I please request architect Ravi Anchuri to felicitate Suleiman and Zeenat. Zeenat here? Huh? And Zed. Especially Zed. Even you could come. Thank you. May I please request Architect Ramesh Patel to introduce our next speaker, Architect Nilasha. Huh? Not?
Thank you, Ruxana, for making me architect. Maybe not this janam, but next janam. So this year, I'm the only supplier. So good evening, all. So it gives me great pleasure to introduce Nilasha, founder and principal architect. Nilasha design philosophy is deeply shaped by her multicultural journey. Born in Manchester, New Hampshire, she has lived in New York, Bombay, Florence, and Hyderabad. Each city enriched her perspective with diverse culture influences and refined appreciation for context. Her passion for design was sparked early, inspired by travel and nurtured through museum and gallery visits. Along with exposure to varied culture and environmental, she earned a Bachelor of Architectural degree from Pratt Institute, New York, followed by dual MAFs in Interior and Furniture Design in Florence. A temporary return to Hyderabad in 2019 turned into an unexpected homecoming. Initial commissions for restaurants and residential projects led to further opportunities in 2020. She laid the foundation for Studio Nilasha. So your introduction is like, keep on going, but I wanted you only to talk to people. Let's all hear it from Nilasha herself. Please welcome Nilasha.
Hi, I'm Nilasha. So I think they got the introduction from my website, and it's a little long there. Just give me a second. So I'm not as candid of a speaker, so I have a few notes that I'm just going to have by my side to help me out. Oh, yeah, sure. Thank you. Okay, hi, I'm Nilasha. I'm the founder and principal architect at Studio Nilasha, and it's an honor to be here at IIID. I'm fairly new to Hyderabad. I've only been here for 5 years, and during these 5 years, I think I already can tell that I have a few familiar faces in the audience, so I'm quite happy that I know people here now. So I was asked to talk about my journey and the projects that we're working on, so I'll just get started. So I was born in Manchester. My parents then moved to New York. After a couple of years in New York, we then moved to Bombay, following which we finally ended up in Hyderabad. Our roots are here, but I've kind of been all over the place. I was here till I finished high school, and then when I was 17, I moved back to New York. I got an undergrad degree in architecture from Pratt. Following that, I worked in New York for a while, got a little burnt out by the city, took a break, went to Texas. My uncle lives there, so I worked there for a year. And I worked at a really big retail architecture firm, and they were the leading retail architects in the US at that point. My clients were AT&T, Target, Walmart, really large-scale constructions. And the one takeaway that I had from that year in Dallas was that I did not want to be doing that kind of work. So I did a full 180, headed east, decided I wanted to move to Florence. Italy is a place that I had been to with my family when I was younger, so it was a place that kind of pulled me back. I decided I wanted to go get a master's degree there, and what happened after working in a large-scale firm was I figured I wanted to do smaller scale. I realized I wanted to, I really enjoyed the detail. I enjoyed personalizing spaces rather than working in larger spaces. So I got an undergrad at Pratt, and then I studied in Florence. I got a master's in interior design and a master's in furniture design. I was also LEED certified. I was a Green Associate with the US Green Building Council. I was a member of the AIA. I was on my path to getting registered as an architect at the state of New York with absolutely no intention of moving to India. But once I finished my master's in Florence, the plan was always to go back to New York. Fully intending to do that, I just rerouted for a short break in Hyderabad in 2019. At that point, I think my parents also were like, you've been out for a decade, why don't you come spend some time at home? So I did that. 2 weeks into my trip, I was a little bored. I didn't know what to do with myself, so I started working with, at that point, an upcoming furniture brand that's now called 1.6, headed by Hamida, who actually had a very big role in bringing me to India herself. She's the one that convinced me to come and help out with the furniture. Did that for a little bit, and yeah, I think I did that for about 3-4 months, and then I was getting ready to go back to New York. And then a friend of mine actually asked me to work on a restaurant project for them. It was something that I did just because I had the time and I didn't really have like a life path or plan ahead. And I also wanted to test the waters. You know, at that point, I had 3 degrees and nothing to show for it. So I was trying to see if I could actually do something and build something. So when they asked me to work on a restaurant for them, I said, okay, you know, let's do it. And that turned out to be Tiger Lily. It was something I did not knowing that there would be a future for me in the city. I thought it was a one-off project. Finished that end of 2019. And even at that point, I was getting ready to go back. I started studying for my architecture record exam. I had my test date ready. I think also had flight tickets booked. And around that time, a couple of people started calling me. They were like, hey, you know, we saw Tiger Lily. Are you going to take up work here? Do you have a firm? Do you run a firm? I said, no, like I don't live here. I'm leaving. And so one potential client at that point, they were into real estate. So they said, you know, you can design from anywhere. You go back to New York, you do whatever you want there, but just give me the designs. Just give me the drawings. You do it from anywhere in the world. And that kind of piqued my interest a little bit because I did something commercial. I wanted to then see if I could build a house, if I could actually build a house. And so I said, okay, I took it up, and I was getting ready to do it remotely from New York. And I had my tickets booked for March 15th, 2020, and I got locked down in COVID here. And yeah, then I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know where life was headed. I didn't know if I had to stay, if I had to leave. So it was very uncertain. I mean, I'm sure all of you went through that phase when things were uncertain and we didn't know where the world was going. And it was during that time that I think I actually began to also think that maybe, just maybe, living in India could just be a possibility. And through the first lockdown, I think more people started reaching out. People were at home. I think they just had the time to work on the designs for their house because they could do it sitting at home. So a couple of more people started reaching out. We signed on one project, then 2-3 months in, we had 3 projects, and then one fine day, Studio Nilasha just became a firm with no real planning as such. I think they're all very unexpected. It was a journey that didn't have much thought to it at the beginning, but I mean, now when I look back, I'm really glad everything happened the way it did. Yeah, so following that, we started working in Hyderabad. I started in a small room at home, didn't really have a team. I was kind of doing things by myself for a little bit. Still a little uncertain as to what I was doing, unsure. I had, I think unlike a lot of people who've spoken of mentors and spoken of, going to school here, having some kind of support system within the community, the fraternity, I knew nobody. I moved here during a lockdown, and I didn't have anyone to ask questions. I didn't have anyone to kind of lean on for support, and I kind of just figured things out. Very luckily, I think I had a very, very supportive family and friends who kind of just, I don't know, experimented with me, I should say, at that point. So yeah, we did that, and going off of, once COVID kind of settled down, we then actually started like a full-fledged studio. Even up until that point, I wasn't sure if I was going to, like my clients would still ask me, they're like, are you here for good? Are you gonna go back once the lockdowns are like done? Once COVID ends, will you head back? And I said, no, I'm staying. But yeah, like I think Kirti also, I took a gamble, I got married. And that's finally what sealed the deal for me. And yeah, so I think getting married, and then now I'm finally, like, I can finally say, yes, I live here, like, I'm not going anywhere. But yeah, I think getting married is what kind of finally tied me down to this city. So as a studio, I mean, also, all of this happened very organically. While I was doing things, I don't think I had the time to really think about what I was doing. I was kind of just going with the flow for a couple of years there, 2020, 21, and then 2023, when I got married, I actually decided to take a little bit of a break. I evaluated what I was doing. It was like a pause. I got to actually think of what we're doing as a studio, where we're going as a studio, and what we want to do. And I don't really have like big ideals or like anything major that I really wanted to achieve. I just want to build homes that people feel at home in. And that was really just the essence of it. I wanted to build homes in a way that was seamless. I was seeing a lot of clients get very, building a home was becoming stressful for a lot of people, not just the design, but dealing with the execution, dealing with labor, not understanding how to do things, like the little details, like the kind of grout you use, or the spacers in MDF. Like these were the little things that people were not educated about, and I could feel different contemporary craftsmen. We work with a lot of Indian furniture brands. We try to integrate more local products, more local work. A lot of our projects, these are just some of our projects. So we do have a design language, and I think what a lot of people have been telling me is that it doesn't come through as in all your projects don't look similar. It's because it's a very intentional way of making sure that we're actually trying to make sure that our houses or our spaces reflect the people that live in it rather than me or my team. And that's something we're trying to do intentionally. So all of these are different projects, and I think over time, we're seeing an underlying design language, but to be very honest, I still feel like we're developing it. We're not there yet. Like, I don't have a philosophy, or I don't have a sentence that I can kind of encapsulate my design into. It's a language that we're building as we go. So I'll just take you guys through a couple of our projects. We also try to do a lot of varied styles. We're intentionally exploring and experimenting as we go. This is a project Equinox that we did for a multicultural family. The husband is Dutch, the wife is Indian. And we tried to fuse a more, like, walnut wood was something that the husband, who's Dutch, said reminded him of his home in Amsterdam, but they now live in India. So we tried to fuse the two diverse, like, cultures, what they feel comfortable about, what would define their home. And at the end of the day, I think it kind of becomes unique to the clients themselves, rather than, you know, being a reflection of our studio. And then, of course, we don't take ourselves we don't take ourselves too seriously sometimes. Like, when we're doing kids' rooms, we decided that, you know, we should also have some fun with it. So we get a little creative. We've done things like a ball pit, reading nooks, playrooms. But I think at the heart of it, it's as creative as we get, we also try to be functional. So the playroom has a lot of, like, doors, and we try to integrate functionality into our projects. Another project that we've done is the Serene Edge, which is a lake house near Gandhipet. And this house was for clients who had a massive art collection. And the house was kind of designed like a gallery. So in complete contrast to the apartment, the space was actually done in a very collaborative way with Sandeep Sangaru, Arjun Ratik. There was craftsmen from Kashmir. There was a lot of Chanapatna, there was leather puppetry from Andhra Pradesh, there was Bidri and Kansa work. So we really worked with the artisans, we worked with craftspeople, we tried to do more of a collaborative, curated interiors. So, and this again reflects the clients, because the clients were art collectors themselves, and which is why the two projects are vastly different. Then we also did a project called Zephyr, which was, again, now for a young family, an apartment in Hyderabad. It's just a very serene, grounded space, and the clients themselves were really simple as people, and they said, you know, when we said, what do you want the house to reflect? They said simplicity, and I think that's what we aimed at here. And what we work with, though, is, like, the materiality. The stone is shot blasted. There's a lot of wicker, there's wood, there's a lot of local materials that we've used. Again, very different style. We did something a little more industrial with concrete. This was a house that was very different for us, because the client actually came to us saying, you know, we want, like, darker, moodier interiors, and it was a little more masculine in the way that it was done. So 4 very different projects. I'm just trying to see if I can show you guys, like, the range of things that we do, because we don't necessarily have, like, one type of work. This year has been, like, a really great year for us. We've been receiving a lot of recognition for all of our projects. We've been featured across magazines in India. We've been featured in IIID Germany, Spain, Elle Decor Poland. It's been an amazing year to see our work get out there and be recognized. And in addition to that, we also won the Design Pataki debut award this year for interiors. So they asked us to add a few milestones, so I added these. Moving forward, we do have even more different kinds of work coming up. And one of the things that we're now doing is, for the first time, we're now entering into South Indian interiors. So we did that, and then another curated home. We're working in Vizag.
Our next I5 speaker is architect Priyanka and architect Ravikanth.
And at this point of time, it is not a vote of thanks, but I would just want to tell you about the journey about calling all the 5 speakers. How exactly did we bring them on board? So I would like to thank architect Praveen, the chairperson IIID HRC, because he's the one who connected with me, and like we always have a discussion in the group, but to people who would want to share their journey with us. So this is where I would like to talk about each one of you, because when Praveen gave me this job of actually, churning out and then finding out whom do we talk to, the first person I tried talking was architect Kirti Jalan. And I would like to talk about her because she's not based in here in Hyderabad. She's based in Calcutta, and the sooner I just told her that this is where we have it, she just said, please share the dates and let me just see, ma'am, if I can do it. And I'm really honored to have her here, sharing her journey with us. Thank you so much, Kirti. Our second speaker, when we talk about Shashank, I have never taught him, but he's a student from SVCA, but my connect with him happened during the last IIID Insider Showcase. That is when he was doing this installation work, and that is when Manojji got in contact with you and he brought in, and then you worked with your students, and then you made sure that the students do the work and do the installation. It is another story how exactly the installation finally turned out to be, but it was then, and that is where the connect happened, and then you were brought on board. And this is where, again, I would like to talk about Nilasha, because it was, if not for Mr. Bhavant. So I was making a lot of calls to just make sure how do we get the next speaker, and then he suggested your name, and that is where architect Nilasha came on board. The fourth speaker being architect Priyanka Gajawada and architect Ravikanth Bajaj, both are my students, dear students, and they were both IID members. 2 years earlier, I had asked Priyanka that, why don't you share your journey with us? To which she said, I'm just working now, ma'am. Give me some time, and then once I'll have the right portfolio, I'll share. And when I called her again, she just said, okay, ma'am, I'm ready. I'll do it. So that is how the fourth speaker came on board. So both Ravikanth and Priyanka. And our fifth speaker, that is architect Rajat Sanghvi. He was brought in by architect Amita Raj. So the president-elect, so chairperson-elect, she brought on board. So this is how the entire journey of 5 architects and designers came into picture. So this is a request. There is no particular, tactic here. We would want your people to please share your journey. We want more and more IID members to share their journey. That is the whole intent of this. I've taken a little longer than usual, plus please bear with me, because I have to introduce the fourth speaker. So IIRA Creative Design Studio, a collaborative practice founded by architect Priyanka and architect Ravikanth Bajaj, where 2 distinct design journeys come together to create a unified and thoughtful design philosophy. Priyanka Gajawada did her bachelor's from CSIT, SAP, and pursued her master's in landscape architecture from SPA, New Delhi. She was mentored by visionary landscape architects Ravindra Bhan and Mohammad Shahir, whose guidance shaped her design thinking and deepened her sensitivity to environment-driven, context-responsive landscapes. She later worked with AECOM, a globally renowned design and infrastructure firm headquartered in California. Ravikanth Bajaj, on the other hand, completed his bachelor's in architecture from CSIT SAP, followed by a diploma in arts from Kanoria Center for Arts, Ahmedabad. He worked with HCP Ahmedabad, one of India's most respected architectural practices, under the mentorship of architect Bimal Patel, contributing to prestigious assignments such as Gandhinagar Secretariat. He later collaborated with architect Kamal Mangaldas, designing residences, farmhouses, and spaces across various scales and complexities. In 2016, Priyanka and Ravikanth joined forces to establish IIRA Creative Design Studio, a multidisciplinary practice offering architecture, interior, and landscape design. Today, the studio continues to grow with several notable ongoing works, including collaborations with the Telangana Police, Gosha Mahal Sports Complex, and the Young India Police Educational Society Campus, among other exciting projects. Put your hands together to welcome the next speaker, architect Priyanka Gajawada, along with architect Ravikanth Bajaj. Thank you.
Well, good evening, everyone. It was a privilege to be introduced by Sushmita ma'am. And I must say, the first three speakers, it is more like a cinema. This is the interval. They have stolen the show already with inspiring stories and different narratives. Yeah, so it's going to be more thrilling, I believe. Yeah, so it all began in 2005. I met Ravi at CSIIT. I was pursuing bachelor's in architecture with specialization in landscape, and he was specializing in interiors. Those are the pictures when we were in college. And I must say, the then HOD, Professor Ali Farid sir, inspired and motivated us to think big and explore new things.
And we had Sushmita ma'am, Suman ma'am too, under whose guidance we got to learn, work on many practical workshops and works like NASA and LIK, where we became thick friends during the 5 years of architecture.
Yeah, then I moved to New Delhi to pursue my master's in landscape architecture. And there was batch of 21. I was the youngest and with no work experience. And the faculty were Ravindra sir, who was 84 years then. And then every day we used to hear, ये लोगों को कुछ नहीं पता, आगे ऐसे ही. So from there it started, and after 2 years, only 14 of us excelled in the program. So we called ourselves the survivors.
I got a chance to work under, did my internship under architect PVK Rameshwar, then HOD Urban Design CEPT. And I always had back in my heart to learn arts. So then I joined Kanaria Center for Arts and I did my diploma in it. Now I would like to talk about people who shaped me as a designer. It was in my third semester of architecture. One of my seniors encouraged me, why don't you do your apprentice after college hours? Then I thought, so why not? And I got a chance to work under architect Satish Magal and engineer Srinath Magal. And for those 3 years, I used to go after college from 4 o'clock to 7 o'clock. And it was wonderful to learn so many things under them. And that actually strengthened my foundation for the architecture. And after completing all the architecture part, 5 years, I decided, like I had done my internship and I decided to join architect Bimal Patel in HCP. And it was a very fortunate thing for me to work on significant projects like, Gandhinagar Secretariat and Civil Housing. And even Ruxana was also there in HCP. And during that course, I got to know how a big firm like HCP works, what kind of ethics they follow. And after completing my tenure at HCP, I wanted to learn about how small-scale residences are worked upon. So you can see me there in the Kamal Mangaldas studio. So I joined him and I could work with him starting from concept to execution, where I could understand how he used a book called Pattern Language by Christopher Alexander and created beautiful scenes while designing the concept.
Coming to my people who influenced me, it was Ravindra sir who used to take us. We were fortunate, and it was a lifetime experience to walk in the projects which he has designed along with him. So our first visit was to Shaktisthal. So I was awestruck. I didn't know what is landscape design and how can it be perceived differently. So when I saw the monolithic rock as a symbolism to late Prime Minister Indira Gandhi's personality. So I was surprised. And the way he respects native vegetation and uses it in design was really inspiring. On the other hand, Shahid sir used to took us to Lodi Garden and explain how we can create human-scale open spaces in the larger context. And this is picture of Anand Gram in the center, where I was surprised how plantation can be used to screen the spaces. And then Mark Blackwell was, I was the only one who got placed after the master's program at AECOM. So Mark Blackwell was the chief landscape architect there. So when we went to a site visit there, that was an interesting project, 25 acres housing project. So he asked us to go around the site and click interesting pictures or if we found anything there. So at AECOM, the best thing was they really create narratives and develop concept for every project they work on. So if you see the patterns on that rock was the inspiration, and that transformed into the urban landscape framework in that picture. Yeah.
So it was in 2014, we were back to Hyderabad and we were working on a couple of freelancing projects. So we decided, why not let's work together? So as you know, best friends. So it was from her studio apartment in Himayat Nagar, we took a project. We were fortunate to get this project actually. It was Playboy Beer Garden back in 2016. And it was at road number 10, Jubilee Hills, around the size of 12,000 square feet, wherein the requirements were to design a courtyard dance floor with existing trees to be retained, VIP lounge, upper deck, and indoor cafe too.
So initial challenges were to convince that our designs are doable. So we had to convince the client, and at the same time, the carpenters on the site as well. If you see on the farmer's picture, there are rafters running from the flexible rafters running from the wall to the ceiling. So initially, this was our first project. So we had to experiment and explain market on the site and get it done. And there were things like this, the water was dripping from 14 feet height. So we had to take care of the wind and all other things. In the next picture, you can see we got to design different spaces in one project itself. This was a morning cafe. And for about maybe 2 years, we had worked on a lot of small and big projects and mostly unrealized proposals during that 2 years. And then we decided to...
Then in 2016, we decided, like, her deep understanding of nature and conceptual storytelling and my Ahmedabad's inspired architectural style, we started IIID.
So it was more like dual forces in one version, where we practice an integrated design approach, and we believe that spaces should reflect the client's character rather than our style, and also respect their budget, which is a major thing now. And as I said, already mentioned, to integrate all the services, all the design practices. And we love to explore and innovate with different materials. And our name IIID also means that it's continuous learning. So we believe in learning every day.
So these 2 years, there was a lot of on-site learning which happened to us. And in
this is our office space, which is we had to renovate a 1 BHK of 650 SFT. So we knocked down all the walls and made it an open floor, seamless plan. And you can see that pocket of green pocket, which is overlooking the studio. And then this is the main door, which we made as a collage of materials from the sites which were going on.
And to mention, this door fetched a couple of projects, including Karimnagar Eye Hospital.
Yeah. So whenever that's a very old apartment where we have started. So when people walk in, they can see the transformation. Once the client steps into the office, they say, okay, we didn't know that such a studio would exist in this apartment.
So in the same year, we got this project too, wherein we had to design a house for 4 brothers. It was located in Old City area, Chadar Ghat. So you can see we used metal perforations and exposed concrete finish inspired from Ahmedabad again. And we wanted to, have this play of light and shade, which will connect all the 4 families together. And we also use the pattern in similar way in walls, floors, ceilings, wanted to unify all the spaces basically. You can see one of the clip here wherein we had this puja temple like in house where we didn't construct any walls but made it from stone jalis carved out of natural sandstone.
Yeah, this was another project which we have done for a paint manufacturer. So they wanted a bold design, and we brainstormed a lot. What can we do? Then we thought of paint dripping. So then that we transformed into a parametric design with Luna wood and the facade.
And this was a project in Warangal, wherein we had visited very beginning. So we even visited Warangal Fort. And that time we decided we'll do something, we'll include this kind of, art into the facade. And this topography, what you see on the facade is the top plan of the Warangal Fort. We even used it in the interiors. This was also a west-facing building where we wanted to cut down the western heat. So we added pockets of green so that they become usable.
We try to bring in all the 3 disciplines together in all of our projects. And then after working on a lot of residential projects, then came was Gitanjali Institute College of Engineering. So we had to think of, we had to completely come up with a different approach where we have designed spaces for students and considering the user behavior and how to bring them together as a community. So you can see a more of industrial output. This is a parametric bench of 65 feet length. On one side it's a seating and on the other side it is a display table.
This is the incubation center.
So in that busy environment in the college, we have such pop-up colors which say, okay, these are the spaces where you have to go and create something and innovate something.
So for now, in 2024, it was the mark for us to complete 200 kind of projects of all different kind of scales. And we got some recognitions also during these years. We'd like to share it with you. And one of them was very close to us. That is the IIID Award, HRC. And it was for Avrit, for residential interiors and interior landscape. We'll show you the project.
So this is the residence for which we got the award. And so this is 100 kilometers away from Hyderabad. So the only brief was we need to have all the amenities. We shouldn't miss the Hyderabad city life. So that was the intention. So you can see how, and we took circle as a narrative and interpreted in different forms. You can see the use of circle and art form, and here we had done a lot of experimentation. That living room and drawing room is overlooking the pool. And the landscape, you can see the sunlight actually falling on the different textures of granite, and it's the same material with different finishes. And that's a metal staircase, which is 8 mm plate, which we have folded.
This is one advantage of having a landscape architect as a partner. So we have all the houses of ours, which we do, make sure that we have green pockets in our house.
Yep.
That's the other spaces.
This is another upcoming projects of ours where we have designed the internal courtyard. You can see the interesting Tulsi Kota. We always see the Indian marble Tulsi Kotas. So here we wanted it to be very contemporary, in line with the architecture. So you can see the landscape gelling in with the architecture of the building.
These are the other views.
This is our team.
Yeah, we started with 2 and we are 15 now. And I would like to conclude this presentation by saying that it's always better with a partner to think together, come together, and grow together. Thank you.
That is Ira Creative Design Studio for you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I was hoping that they will talk a little about Priyanka's cricket, which is missing here. For all the ones who know her, IIID HRC is proud to have her as one of the cricket players in the women's team, and she plays wonderful. You should, and her sense of humor is another level altogether. I never heard from Shashank also, for that matter. I never knew he's so humorous. And it's really nice to see the other side of Priyanka, which is very humorous. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you. Let's now have the presentation and see Stellar's finishes. Thank you. I'd now request our chairperson, Architect Praveen sir, and our past chairperson, Pallavi ma'am, to please come on stage to felicitate Ramesh sir, Bramesh, and Maya Patel. Ramesh has left. They've left. So the next speaker today is an enterprising architect, a wonderful father, and equally wonderful conversationist, architect Rajat Sanghvi. We are going to miss you, Naina, on stage. He graduated from the Architectural Association School of Architecture, London, with an MArch degree from the AA Design Research Lab, and holds a bachelor's degree in architecture from the Pune University. He and his wife, Naina, are the founders of Makespace Architects, an innovative design studio known for its bold minimalism and human-centric spaces. With professional experience at Zaha Hadid Architects in London, focusing on semiological architecture and urban planning, Rajat brings global design sensibilities to contemporary Indian architecture. He further gained town planning experience at architect Hafiz Contractor's office in Mumbai. um, where he worked on Amravati in association with Fosters and Partners in London. His work blends clarity, creativity, and precision, crafting spaces that inspire, functional, and are enduring.
Yeah. I hope I'm audible. Sorry for the delay, actually. I requested I get a little anxious with this mic on the face. So thank you for arranging this on short notice. First of all, thank you all for having us here, having Make Space here. We are glad to be a part of IIID. I'm Rajat Sanghvi, founder of Make Space Architects. You can read, of course. So, oh, not working. Oh, all right. So when I was asked to present more about ourselves and not the work, you can ask an architect to talk about their work anytime. And in sleep also, I'll wake up and I'll talk about my work. But when you have to talk about personal life, you have to talk about something where you grew up, or probably how the entire career has been shaped. I went spiraling down. There I found three things which are so important to us as Make Space. Change is the only constant which we really believe in. Minimal chaos, which Naina brings in to the firm. And together we learn, we unlearn, and we step up to the landing of our spiral together. And we formulate simple complexity. Now, of course, as my introduction here, I gave like a two-liner, and you guys already made it very complex for anybody to understand. We work for simple complexity. Since the day I started reading books, I found my mentors in the books, of course, later. But my first mentor, Heraclitus, and his thought, everything is a state of flux. Now that kind of shaped the early life for me, where change for me became the only constant. And today when I really went back to see where it all started from, where the change started. 1993, I was born. Real change started in 2010. I was pursuing IIT back in Bansal, Kota, as most of my friends were doing it. So I just thought that it's going to be the new cool. Let's do it. Let's be an IITian. 3 months down the line, I found that that's not something which is my cup of tea. So this is Chambal Park. There's a bench. And up there was my father. He, in 2010, came down to Kota asking me what happened, what's wrong. And I said, this is not my cup of tea. Can I really do something else? He said, yeah, of course. 2010, I came back to my city, Indore. Started pursuing NATA. Thought I'll do something, which my father does. He's into construction, so I thought I'll be a civil engineer initially. Met Nimish Patel at that point. He said, do you really want to be the leader, or you want to be a follower? By the way, I had a lot of one-liners in there. Shashank, you took all of them, so sorry, man. I feel sorry for myself here. So I had to pluck it in. And I've noted the date when we got married, by the way, so it's there. 2012, I got introduced to Laurie Baker. That was kind of inkling for me to think parametric, think that, whole design is a sum of all and not a part of one. 2017, something rare happened with me, which was, again, Shashank, you were talking about being careless, being carefree. I was both of them together. So I had no intentions to go anywhere. I had no intentions to make a portfolio as well. I started dating my partner right before that. She said, oh, why not to make a portfolio and probably apply to only one university which you always wanted to go for. I did that, I got there, surprisingly. So yeah, 2017 Architectural Association, School of Architecture, London happened to me. 2019, we got married. 2020, we started Makespace Architects. 2022, our family of 3. So yeah, for me, change and only became the right constant. Now when I talk about my personal and professional life together, because of course Makespace is both about me and Nana, Frank Lloyd Wright became my mentor there, saying space is the breath of art. I'm the space and Nana is my breath of art. And that's not pun intended, she loves art, by the way. So, yeah, I'm the minimal canvas and she is my curation of chaos. I said that, right? So 2013, with Sinhagad happening to me, my relationship with my partner also started. 2017, we were pondering because she also got an A. Shashank, you were talking about landing at the same place together, and we also landed at the same place together. Yeah, that seems to be the thing of our generation, I guess, being careless and then landing up together somewhere. 2020, so 2019, actually, we were sitting from Sea of Brighton, we shifted to Sea of Arabian or Mumbai, where I was, of course, I'll come to my work journey as well. 2019, we decided we'll start something for ourselves. And 2020, we opened Makespace Architects, Indore. 2021, we started taking up projects in Makespace Architects, Hyderabad, because of course COVID, 6 to 10, only one city was open. And we thought, because both of us cannot stay home, so we flew down to Hyderabad and started working here. 2022, our young toddler, Vansh, also came into picture, and Makespace kind of became a trio issue. Here we are, 2025, celebrating our minimal chaos with all of you. So, as I said, most of my mentors are through the books. Here's another one, Nikola Tesla. He said, to understand a new idea, one must break an old one. That kind of, when I read it, I felt this is what I am all about. And hence, this kind of became an introduction for me and my journey. So from my journey, from inspiration to motivation, I guess, I was a builder to start with because my dad was a builder into construction. I always thought I'll see bricks, I'll see columns, I'll see beams around, and I was the king of my own world. Then SUA happened. As you said, Shashank, we were carefree. I was very carefree. I was always either on sites or wherever they'll tell us to go for excursion, I'll do all of that, but to be in the college. Then my internship, I went to, of course, Mr. Hafiz Contractor, and I think most of you would know him. He's a guy of big buildings, but I know him very, very personally with the guy who always talk about, seeing a building through a pinhole, because again, a building is a part of sum, making it whole. And yeah, 6 months down the line, my internship got over, but he did not let me go for a year. So I did my thesis back, making probably some help for him as well, and doing my thesis, going back, and sustaining my relationship at the same time. So yeah, 2017, AA happened. That place really made me what I am today and what Makespace is today by part of minimal canvas, because it made me think about what is process-oriented design, what sensitive design means. How can you really talk about micro? You can really think about macro. You can think about smaller things like probably a table in a room, and you can probably design a city as well. And we were in AIDRL, which is Architectural Association Design Research Lab, as you rightly pronounced and said, and all mad people in AA study there. There I met my another guide, Mr. Patrick Schumacher from Zaha Hadid Architects, who was my thesis guide. We worked on certain projects when I was working in AA as well. As a research assistant, we worked for the Morpheus Macau, City Life Milan. I was a pseudo-urban designer at that point, but kind of transitioned to, as a research assistant to Zaha. In AA, as a thesis guide, he gave me research to do for cities and traffics and movement and transportation and FAR. The moment he took me in Zaha, he got me to jewelry design. So it was complex to really think about that scale and then go back down to designing probably a ring for Bulgari. So there we are in Milan. The entire show was based on what Zaha really did for Bulgari. From there, I got appointed with Fosters and Partners. They sent me to India because, of course, Hafiz had his own execution power and his own thought process. And they were really not streamlining with what Fosters and Partners were thinking about and talking about parametrics. So I came down to Mumbai. I was working with Hafiz at Hanuman Circle, working on Amravati, the capital city, deciding the transportation, the FAR of the city. By the time we reached that designing things, Mr. Chandrababu Naidu lost the election, so we had to rethink, right? We rethought, me and Nana, and we formed Make Space Architects in 2020. So yeah, about my firm, we are about Da Vinci. Now, we are about simplicity is the ultimate sophistication, and we simplified it even further. We talk about simple complexity. We talk about how we just have to make it simple, and our clients will make it complex for us. We streamline it to make it simple again. So again, like lockdown happened for Nilasha, lockdown happened for me also. I came in to Hyderabad to meet my father-in-law and stayed here for 3 months. And then Miss Divi happened. We met through lockdown, of course, was not allowed, but through conversations, we started doing our home. And we started learning because, of course, interior design was very person-oriented about what they like more, about how to can filter their likings and really portray their houses for themselves. So we started with something which is very, very muted layering of a house and clean lines. Then a board happened where we talked about forms. We got in some more colors to our playlist. Then Temple Tree happened where we were talking about quiet luxury. We were talking about chaos by the client, and we were talking about streamlining it through because the client is from US and she had a different idea of traditional India and vernacular India. So we wanted to streamline that into fewer things and make the canvas very, very clean in itself. Then we tried our hands on to minimal luxury. Now when I came to this, I had something else in mind, but Ramesh Bhai asked me to plug him in there. So that veneer, the entire veneer in the NM office has been supplied by Stellar. All right. Then, of course, we tried to kind of guide our chaos towards more minimalism in art, in softening the overall space context, in using materials which leave memory, which makes memory, which stays with people around. Tried our hands with different scales then because, of course, when Hyderabad takes you in, it takes you in, right, Nilasha? Yeah, so Amaya happened with us. We started with one apartment project, lake facing in Gudla-Pochampalli, and then again we started venturing in builder projects because that became another part of urban design. We started taking up projects in California, and that is why Cabrillo became so important to us as well, because that was our first project which we executed in US. Again, took us back to the same place where we started learning the process all over again to formulate a new product. And from there, we started expanding some of our work in US as well. Then, because of the builders' work which we were doing, we got acquainted to other builders as well, and they understood that, okay, we can do it. And we started taking other builder projects. Every scale, any scale, our input or our intent to giving any project is about how we can streamline, how we can make it more integrated, how we can make it more cleaner. So yeah, scales changed. We went from builder projects, from plotted communities, from clubhouses, just arches, to villa projects, to urban scale projects. But one thing which never changed is for us to streamline our simple complexity. And yeah, of course, most of you know him, less is more. We are still finding our philosophy, and I think what Patrick told me once, that you never make a philosophy. You always make one, break one, make another. So we are still moving there. For us, right now, probably less is more is what we are talking about. Some of the projects which we are doing or we have done already with our board, with the VB house, with Ala, with the soft curves around. Again, here it was all about the playfulness of the clients. They're all both 22, 28-year-old, and they wanted a white house where they can throw wine parties. So, okay. Yeah, and then Temple Tree, us in Indore, NM office. This time I can talk about the project as well, where we talked about how to get the minimal elegance, which we really think about 2 projects, how to talk about accumulating all the textural input we have around how to make a space memory findable. So yeah, NM office happened. And to have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. They somehow already know what you truly want to become. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rajat. It was a really nice evening with 5 really incredible designers. So now let us felicitate all our architects, starting with architect Kirti Jalan. Yes, and I'd like to invite Praveen sir and Rakesh sir. I can do this. Thank you. Calling our next I5 speaker, architect Shashank Rao. And I'd like to request Sushmita ma'am to please come on.
His partners also here.
Yes, please do.
He also she's talked a lot about.
So calling our next I5 speaker, architect Nilasha, and requesting Pallavi ma'am, our past chairperson, to please come. Our next I5 duo, architect Priyanka and architect Ravikanth, could please be felicitated by Vandana ma'am. Thank you. And our last speaker, architect Rajat, along with his wife Naina. Could you all please come up? And requesting Amit Shah to please come. Now I'd request architect Rakesh Vasu, our managing committee member, to please come.
Good evening, everyone. It's so nice to see a packed house for the first time for this event. Thanks to all the young new faces who have been here. We have seen a lot of faces. Thank you all. And first of all, I would like to thank you all for attending this, taking this time out and coming for this 23rd I5 series. I thank all the speakers who really presented a fantastic journey of their professional work and their life. And I would like to thank the sponsors. This is the first event for this I5 series. They are the sponsors for I5 as well as I3. Darpan, Elevate and Stellar. This time there are 3 sponsors who really did a fantastic job for the support of our fraternity. I thank the presence of our past chairpersons, Ravi, Nandu, Pallavi, who are present here, and there are all others who are also watching it live. And I thank my managing committee for their constant reach out to members who are instrumental in, getting all of them to this first I5 series. And will not forget the staff, Srinath and Jabbar, for their back-end work. I thank today's MC for the evening, architect Roxana, who really did a good job, though it's the first stint as MC. Appreciate that. And thanks to Janardhan and team Universal Events who have done the job for the AV and Event Live. And lastly, I'll not keep you waiting, Mr. Mithun and the hotel staff who have done a wonderful hospitality for us all throughout our events. Please join for a sumptuous high tea and dinner. You may call it actually. It's already 8:30, so please, and we are on time. Thank you very much.
Okay, so we're going to now call architect Nandu sir to please come. Who would you like?
I think that's a wonderful idea, Nandu. I think we'll continue this this tradition of, calling them on stage. Yes. It's
The theme is partnership.
yeah. Yeah, it's really good. Yeah. Nandu, can you be the moderator for this? Yeah.
Give them a mic, set of mics. Huh? Yeah. I wish I was such fabulous work, all of you.
They just have to wait.
And okay, how's Hyderabad treating you? I'd like to hear from each one of you. Okay, start.
No complaints at all. I feel, of course, I've stayed in a lot of cosmopolitans, but this city has a different warmth to it. I feel the day I came in, I have never looked back, because when you work in any country, you always feel that you want to stay there. But once I came back and I started doing things in Hyderabad, I never felt like going anywhere else. Today, people probably will be expanding so many places, but I want to be here. I want to eat the biryani probably every day. All right?
Be careful.
Every
day is.
And I'm still waiting for that right now. So.
ये तो vegetarian है भाई आज. Nilasha, let's hear about your take on Hyderabad.
It's been amazing. I think everyone's really welcoming. It's so warm and it's a small fraternity, and I don't think anyone's ever made me feel unwelcome here. So I've really enjoyed being here. It's been a short while, but
There's got to be some idiosyncrasies about Hyderabad too, right?
Okay, maybe
we'd like to
I
hear
have
that.
one.
Okay.
I start my day at 6 a.m.
Hyderabad starts at 11. So.
Yeah. So those 9 a.m. meetings are, it's a little bit of a push. Getting people to actually show up at 9 has been a task.
You need to get familiar with Hyderabad standard time.
Yeah, I know.
It's always parson and whatever.
No, but other than that, I think the people, the fraternity, everyone I've collaborated with, it's been amazing. The timings, I think I need to get used to.
The Hyderabadis now.
Yeah, so for me, Hyderabad, it's been my hometown. Now I've moved since 3 years, but obviously there's family, there are friends, there's everything here. In fact, when I moved there, I can compare it larger, where I feel Hyderabad is much professional in terms of works which we are doing.
That's a new one.
Yes, yes.
Hyderabad being more professional.
Yes.
So we should move to Calcutta now.
Than Calcutta, yeah, more professional. Every city has its own pros and cons, but yeah, this one is something which I really miss. And there's always a fight between me and my husband that you got me to Calcutta, we would have been better in Hyderabad. So, that's how it is.
So even for us, I think the city has been welcoming us greatly.
Better be good,
But still, I have my set of complaints when it's obviously there.
Zara batao bhai.
I mean, I don't want to be super sugar-coated, but
I thought you were not going to be politically correct.
So, I mean, see, to be really honest, we were welcomed really well, as in a lot of FNBs and all of that. But eventually, you see that clients don't stand to their brief, which I really hate, which we absolutely hate. That's one biggest complaint I personally have. And
so let me describe the Hyderabad client. The project starts world class. Everything has to be world class. Nothing more, nothing less.
Not for the payments, though.
And then it'll come to all that other stuff.
So for me, I was born and raised in Hyderabad itself. So only comparison I would have would be the Ahmedabad city. So definitely there I compare. I don't see much of Vastu following there. Here that becomes a little constraint while designing. That one thing I have. Otherwise, it's been welcoming, the kind of vendors we have, the kind of city it is. Thank you.
The supply system is fabulous.
Fabulous.
The infrastructure, that way is fabulous.
I actually, I was born and brought up in Nizamabad. Then I moved to Hyderabad, then Delhi. Coming back to Delhi, I used to miss coming back to Hyderabad, I used to miss Delhi because our college was in central Delhi. So we used to go to other institutions, and there was a lot of drama happening there. But I used to miss that initially. And the flavor of the food, I think Hyderabad is just more of spicy food rather than having the authenticity of different foods. So that I miss a lot.
Nizamabad's got a unique food ecosystem too.
Yeah. Ankapur chicken is famous, but though I'm a vegetarian, I heard about it.
Okay. You didn't smell it and you didn't...
No, I don't.
Okay. So the other theme that's been common across all of you has been partnerships and marriages. Okay?
Exactly.
So let's hear a bit of that.
I mean, it just happened. There's no script for that. I saw her it's exactly like this in my college. And
so you saw it happen.
No,
It wasn't. Okay, let's say, how is it working with partners? And how do you manage it, right? You're sharing the life all the way through.
Right. I mean, it gets super like... No, you don't get a break. That's the biggest problem. But otherwise...
So how do you manage not having the breaks, man?
I still don't have an answer for that.
Good one.
But I think it's... I mean, on the other side, I mean, when your thought processes are in line, I think you become a really stronger team and you can really do great work. Now we push ourselves. I mean, we run a.
What if the thought process is not in sync? Then what happens?
Then you fight, like dogs. So which is what we keep doing.
Okay.
And yeah,
he's got something to say.
For us, it's been like it's good for the client. They get a good design. I get a lot of criticism.
Okay.
Either of us.
In-house criticism.
Yeah, that's how it has been. So the output is really good.
Then for us, we have a boon. I was very clear that I
For work, yeah.
Yeah, so it was just a 1 week of association, and then I said yes. So there is a lot of things which happens in studio as well. Like for instance, we were redesigning our studio, and I told my colleagues that I want my table here, and just beside me should be Udit's. They were like, "Ma'am, why are you doing it? Anyways, you guys will fight in 10 minutes, and sir will come outside and sit. So why do you want to sit together?" I was like, "Okay, cool." So that is how it goes.
So you have your own cabins now?
No, I have a cabin. He sits outside.
So usko
with
bhija diya.
So he is comfortable there. He is comfortable there, more comfortable.
Yeah, I'm just in the space of creating a cabin for myself in the office. So I won't talk much about that now. It can go any day. But I think, working with a person you're staying with, there is always another person you can talk about and, you can vent out, especially in the design.
Venting.
So it's never, the fight is never between us. It's always that third person we're fighting about. Okay. So that takes out the major issue which we probably would have. But more than that, what happens is I always needed a streamliner, to be honest. And I found it in her, so I'm very happy.
So Nilasha, you were trying to run away and marriage tied you to Hyderabad.
Yeah.
Describe your partner a bit more. We haven't met him
So
really.
he's not in an architecture or...
Good that he's not an architect.
Yeah. We actually met through common friends. He's actually my brother-in-law's friend, which is how we...
Arranged tha ya love tha?
We were set up, which we found out much
And then
later.
love happened, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we were not told that it was a setup, but we were introduced at a game night with other mutual friends.
And how did he tie you up to Hyderabad?
No, I think actually he wasn't in Hyderabad when we met. He was living in Bombay. I was the one that said, "Hey, like I work here now." So his plan was always to move back. He's born and brought up here, HPS boy. Played state level cricket. He was a cricketer, and his name is Rohit. He's the grandson of Mr. Surya Prakash, who is a big artist based out of Hyderabad.
We all know Surya Prakash ji.
Yeah. So he's Surya Prakash's grandson, and that's really like. He's also my biggest critic because I think he grew up with a lot of art and a lot of artists. And
Because Surya Prakash used to organize all the artists get together in Hyderabad. He was the one who got them together.
yeah, I still keep hearing all the stories from the gallery owners and the other artists that we still meet. So I think he's grown up with a lot of exposure to Hyderabad, the art scene. Indian art in general, their family has a really nice big collection of art as well. So
good for you.
That was I learn a lot. Like I think I learn a lot, and he does have that eye for detail and art. So he's actually like my biggest critic, and I'm like a little scared when I show him my work. He'll give it to me straight. He'll be like, "No, like you can do better," or like, but yeah, I also really enjoy that he's not my business partner and I don't work with him because I don't know how you guys do it.
Okay, so I'd just like to say, all of you, fabulous work, and the architecture scene in Hyderabad is in good hands. So I'll now leave any questions from the audience. You can raise your hands. Hey, they're all here. So, okay, looks like everybody's hungry. Thank you all. Let's go have some good vegetarian food.
I'd request Sir to come on stage so we have a photograph with the IIID speakers. So could I please also request our past chairpersons, Pallavi ma'am and Ravi sir, also to join us. And the MC members.